Creating the right environment lays the foundation for making sport a positive experience. And let's not forget that this is the most important job for children's coaches in clubs, schools, and community groups across the world. Children act, interact, and react differently to their environment at different ages and stages of development. Therefore, as coaches, we need to understand how children develop over time, but very importantly, we have to do so not only physically, but socially, emotionally, and cognitively too. This chapter will tell you all you need to know about the social development of children. Social development is about the way in which children learn to interact with each other and the world around them. For instance, how they are considerate and respectful with each other, how they show empathy with others, how they express their own emotions, how they learn and adhere to social rules like taking turns, sharing playing together, or the capacity to peacefully resolve conflict. Social development is characterized by learning social skills. These social skills are age-related but not age-dependent. This means that it depends more on each child's maturational stage rather than chronological age. However, we can generalize some key markers or milestones during key developmental stages. It is also important to understand that the key social players and relationships for the child will also vary during different stages. In broad terms, fostering social development for coaches has a lot to do with creating a caring and safe climate. Before we get into the specifics of each stage, here goes some general advice. 1. Always be a role model. Set a good example yourself in how you interact with them and other people like parents and referees. 2. Provide lots of opportunities for them to play and interact with each other. 3. Give children the chance to individually and collectively solve problems by themselves and celebrate their successes. 4. Play lots of games with children with changing turns and basic rules they have to follow. 5. Reward and praise children when they play nicely with others and when they're able to share toys or equipment. 6. Give compliments for a child's efforts and not only for their achievements. 7. Praise a child when they lose a game but take it well. And 8. Make sure to be always attentive and step in if any aggressive behavior takes place. Okay, so after this general advice, let's now see what's important to know specifically in each developmental stage. Let's start with toddlers and preschool children of about 1 to 4 years of age. Guess what? The key here is to let them play. During infancy, up to 18 months, the main relationship infants form is with their primary caregiver. This is all based around the sense of trust they develop that their basic needs will be met. Between 18 months and 4 years of age, children's main relationships tend to be parents and extended family. If they attend nursery, they'll also start building relationships with carers and other children. At this stage, as they become more mobile and self-sufficient, they begin to explore the world around them. This will continue for the rest of their lives. As their autonomy increases to the primary school years, that's 5 to 11, children keep exploring the world and develop more initiative and courage. They increasingly begin to actively look for contact with others and to enjoy when others respond positively to them. Throughout this whole period, and mainly through play, children learn social skills, the rules of interaction, and become more self-confident. From a social development point of view, perhaps the most important thing to realize as a coach is that young children are very self-centered and cannot yet fully empathize with others. In other words, do not chastise or scold a child for appearing to be selfish or disconnected from the rest. That is just where the child is at, and your job is to support them get to the next stage. As children grow older, they can empathize with the feelings and opinions of others. As a result, they also learn to deal better with agreements, rules, and conflict. Another significant step forward for children during the primary school years is the increase in their capacity to stand up for themselves. As they meet more people and form wider networks, they become more self-confident and empathetic. But they also get better at holding their ground and expressing and controlling their emotions. This is not always a straight road, and coaches must be prepared to support children when the wheels come off emotionally in social situations. Finally, as children progress through adolescence, roughly from 11-12 years of age onwards, the main focus of their relationships will be their peer group. Peers and role models are likely to influence adolescents the most, and they are likely to be preoccupied with how they appear to others. At this point, positive peer relationships are very important and should be promoted by parents and coaches. As the parents of teenagers amongst you will be very aware, children change dramatically during puberty. They discover other interests, make new friends, and generally expand their horizons and areas of interest. They will also become more critical of themselves, others, and also of their parents and coaches. Remember what we said about being a role model. Patience and positive modeling are of the essence at this stage. The development of social skills become even more important for adolescents. Young people want others to like them and become their friends. At the same time, adolescents have to learn to master respectful interactions while standing up for themselves, resolve arguments, and empathize with others. Remember that at this stage, young people are developing their identity and thus often create their own culture and image. Again, try not to be judgmental. We all went through that phase. Okay, we've covered a lot of ground here. Let's wrap it up with some final recommendations. When working with very young children, make the most of their incredible imagination and engage them with stories and fantasy scenarios. You can also use simple games where they have to learn to respect simple rules. As they get older and more confident, make sure to show them that you're also confident in what they can do and that you trust them. And make sure to give each child a lot of attention. Make them feel important. Finally, as they reach puberty and adolescence, let go and encourage them to find solutions and answers by themselves. Make sure to respect their feelings and boundaries and make an effort to understand who their peers are and what they're into. In other words, take time to know each child you coach and what makes them tick. It requires time and effort, but it will pay off big time. Thanks for watching and see you in the next video.